Are at sort of 3 o'clock, right-hand side, and there are 7 competitive games.
Yeah.
And after that, it could be Brazil. Top left could well be a Germany, France, last 16. You've got Netherlands, Morocco, the last 32 is a big game. The USA down the bottom left will be confident at home to Bosnia. Top right, Brazil, Japan will be a very good game. Basically, what I'm saying, gents, right, this gets serious now.
Yes.
This is football now, come on.
Knockout football,
Yes.
yeah. I think we're all, obviously, the supporters will be excited and we're the same. There'll be a bit more jeopardy in the games now, and with so many teams getting out of the first group, there was just, and there's still 1 or 2 poor teams left in it, but any sort of mistake now, obviously, you're out of the competition. And that's a good game for England to look forward to. They top the group, and then 1 game at a time.
Yes.
You know all this, Gary. It's goals, it's controversy, it's red cards, it's referees doing whatever they do. This is it. This is maximum jeopardy. Maybe our friend penalties as well. But does it just go up? But do you feel as a player a little extra frisson about it all?
Oh, absolutely. And you've got 5 games to play to win this tournament now, obviously with the added extra round. So you want to try and be a bit comfortable in the last 32 if you could be. England, Senegal or DR Congo are opponents that you wouldn't be scared of before the tournament. But I think, look, if you're watching England right now, you've got a bit of a model having watched Ghana and Panama play against England for 60 minutes, whereby you would just sit back and then just counter-attack on them. Obviously, teams later on in the tournament won't do that, but if you're Senegal, I think you'd fancy your chances a little bit on the counter-attack.
Yep. What do you think, Ian?
Listen, I'm just pleased that we've got through those 3 games. Obviously, we've creeped through a little bit, but hopefully the quality will come through. We're starting to see it with Jude. We know that if Harry's in the box and the ball's going in there, it was interesting to listen to him say that he finally got one of those crosses, what he was waiting for. Once we can do that and everybody can start to find their form, especially our wingers. I have to go back to the wingers because we're going to need them. Once that gets going, you know what I mean, I'd love us to be able to get to somewhere like Mexico, the Azteca, and play there. Because that's when you're really at the World
No
Cup.
safety net, though. As a player, does that alter your mindset? To think, I really can't make a mistake here.
But it's what these players want. It's what Jude Bellingham wants. It's what Harry Kane wants. They're our most precise players. What I would say is, Mark, there are times where I've been with England where we've not got out of the group. There are many times where we've not finished top of the group and we finished second and we ended up in a nightmare of a sort of what will be run towards the...
You did in 98.
Exactly, so many times. It's probably the most disappointed we've ever been with topping the group. The reason for that is these players have set such a standard over the last few years in terms of tournaments.
Has that set us up for the way we're playing now? Yes, we've done OK against Croatia, but we don't seem to have got to a level where we've played the calibre of team where we've had to really extend ourselves.
Well, they're going to have to, very quickly.
The qualifying campaign hadn't helped England. 8 games, didn't even... Obviously, won the 8.
Didn't concede a
goal. And there was other teams with that type of record as well. But it certainly doesn't help you when you come up against better oppositions. But they're the type of challenges you have to face and get over
Look at the look on your face. You're thinking these players should relish this now.
I think they will.
Yes.
I think they will. I think the top players come... You know what? They smell it.
You like that saying, no, you smell it.
Yeah,
This is
the importance of the games,
Absolutely. England win Group L, so as Gabriel said, their next game is on Wednesday in Atlanta, round of 32, probably against Senegal or DR Congo. That is still to be confirmed. Roy, you know what they say, you can't win the World Cup in the group stage, you can only lose it by going out. So England have won the group. There's obviously a lot of room for improvement, but what would you say overall?
Yeah, they were always favourites to top the group. Obviously, they had an outstanding first game, difficult second game. It wasn't pretty today. Far from it, but eventually we talk about tactics and systems. Their top players eventually turned up the second half with Bellingham and Keane, and they're huge players and that's what you want in these tight games. I spoke about the opposition being dangerous, but they were, I thought, very, very poor. So we could be really critical of England if they didn't get the job done, but they did. Their top lads turned up and they move on to tougher games.
And that's the bottom line, isn't it, Gary? Much as we can talk about tactics and systems and low blocks or whatever, your very best players do it when they need to. You've got every chance of winning. And Jude Bellingham, would you say by a distance, is England's best player at the moment?
Absolutely. He's the one player that looks like he's in form. He's the one player that looks like he's fresh. He's sharp, he's lively, he's playing at the level that you would expect. Look, Mark, I think that what these players have set a standard of getting to finals and semi-finals over the last few years. This is the goal from Jude. Look, I just know from being a defender in that position, you're pressing against the forward, you're looking to do enough to disrupt him, to put him off. How Jude keeps control, his eye on the ball, and that technique to finish it there whilst he's under extreme pressure is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant finish, that, it really is.
Ian, I can't believe we ever had a conversation about whether Jude Bellingham was going to start in this team. He's, along with Harry Kane, he's the first name on the team sheet, isn't he? If England are going to do something serious here.
Yeah, I can't understand it. I've always backed him and what he's done, and that's going off of what I've seen him do and what we've seen him do and what he's capable of doing, his confidence, the fact that he's got a lot of confidence. People kind of like interpret it as arrogance for him, but like he's somebody that when you watch him, whoever he's playing against, I remember watching him against New Zealand, watching him against Costa Rica, he's exactly the same. He's going for it, he wants to do the best he can. He wants to put the team on his shoulders and run with it. And he relishes it. You could see him in that first half.
Yeah,
the second half.
Even the second half, he showed his quality. But his first half, I think he showed a really good example in terms of work rate, winning the ball, doing the hard yards. And that does lift other players.
Arrogance is good on the pitch, isn't it, Roy? Arrogance says, I believe in myself and you're all going to follow me because I'm at the top of my game.
Arrogance, confidence, especially... No, well, especially...
Whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, whatever you want to call it, but especially if you back it up.
Yeah.
He backs it up, so
yeah.
you can't be critical of him.
The rest of them are going to have to get to his form and his level quite quickly, Mark. Just in Thomas Tuchel's interview there, he said, we will step up the bigger the games. They're going to have to. I don't think he'll be walking off that pitch tonight looking at the analysis with his coaching staff and thinking that everything's perfect right now. We've got to get together in the next 4 days. We've got to get Declan Rice back in the team. We've got to get that back four more solid. It looked like they cut through us a few times. They didn't have the quality to punish us, but we're going to have to step up.
Well, he said that, Gary, but do you believe him? You know, the manager? Because as much as there's been pluses from some of their star lads today, he's done a lot of chopping and changing. I still don't think he has a clue what his best 11 is. And that's not good.
Yeah.
No, you're probably right with the wide players, aren't you?
Defensively, he's chopping and changing.
World Cup. Let's have a look at Harry Kane's 11th goal in the World Cup, beating Gary Lineker's record. You would have loved to have been on the end of a cross like this, Ian Wright, wouldn't you, from Jude Bellingham?
Yeah, well, it was brilliant from Jude again. You know, it's the best bit of wing play in the game, to be honest. Great run. But then it's the composure of moving the defender. You know, and then once he got in it onto his weaker foot, and just a lovely ball into the box. It's just invited Harry. Harry's run's always going to be great, you know, even Harry coming off of the back of him. But it's his run here. You know, that's the run. And then once he's got there, it's the composure. We haven't seen this all day. It's come in, and then, yeah, brilliant. And then Harry's run from the back of him. You're not going to stop Harry Kane with a ball that's floated in like that.
Wright's point is a great one there. That's the best bit of wing play we've seen all day in terms of the composure in the wide area, playing a crossing that you can actually get on the end of.
And the worry is it was a problem.
Harry, well done. Group 1, how do you sum up the performance?
Yeah, solid performance again. Against a tricky side, the way they play, got some fast players, tricky players, and if you're not careful, can cause you problems. And they had little moments there throughout the game, but overall, I think we controlled it pretty well. First half, we was just maybe a little bit sloppy in the final third with the final cross or the final ball. Got better in the second half, took our chances, and then yeah, would have liked to have seen out the game a little bit easier, but it became a bit of a basketball match. But overall, just a good win.
You've seen some good performances by Jude Bellingham. Where do you place today's?
Yeah, another top performance. Jude looks fit, looks sharp, looks like he's got the bit between his teeth to really go out there and yeah, prove to the world what type of player he is. And you saw that again today. So yeah, it's fantastic to play with him. Obviously, the cross he put in for my goal just shows his quality. But I think just his effort, non-stop running, tackling, tracking back, and that's the type of players we want in our team.
Yeah, and he was placed in a deeper role today. Do you think that not freed him up, but that enabled him to maybe do a little bit more from deeper positions naturally?
Yeah, look, Jude's a fantastic runner with the ball and also without the ball, making runs in behind from deep, and he's so hard to track. He's strong, he's physical. So I think sometimes in certain games you're going to see the best out of him when he's in that situation like we did today. Obviously, Morgan was more playing in between the lines and making it difficult for the defenders that way, and Jude and me were probably running in the depth a little bit more. And yeah, like I said, he's a fantastic player all round. Wherever he plays, I think he's effective, and for sure he was today.
He says he preferred the assist to you rather than the goal. You'll be aware of the history, obviously, that goes with that goal now, England's top scorer at World Cups.
Yeah, obviously another proud one to reach for sure. Number 11, like I touched on a bit earlier, Jude with a great bit of play and great cross. He kind of just hung it up, and I was kind of waiting for that one throughout the game just to get across my man there, and it was nice to see it go in. So yeah, let's hope it's not the last this tournament.
One of the wingers.
Yeah, so I think that's the thing that, you know, Marcus or Madueke or Saka or whoever plays there, just drifting the crosses in nicely so that you can get on the end of them and people can time their runs. They're whacking them across at times, and you just don't know where they're going to be.
You know the thing with it is, Gal, like you mentioned it, it's almost like he's trying to play one of the wingers, a couple into form. None of them up to this point, whether it's Gordon, whether it's Marcus, whether it's Saka, whether it's Madueke, who's done a little bit better than the rest of them, none of them has kicked in, really. And we're talking about a team and a game that's reliant on wingers, whether we're going to play a deep, if we're playing to transition, or we're going to play out of a deep. But whatever it is, the wingers are not doing enough for us to really punish teams.
That is going to be a worry when Thomas Tuchel gets his bit of A4 out and goes, right, who are my wide men on Wednesday? That's not a straightforward decision for him, is it?
Yeah, and not just the wide players, there's some other positions. But yeah, the onus is on the attacking players. I've said it many times before. Your job is to go out and perform, where the next game the manager can't leave you out. But there's too many of the England players at this moment in time not doing enough. There's still, we talk about getting the trust of the manager. There's too many question marks, particularly about the 4 wide players, where you're going, it's a toss of a coin, and that's not good. You want to be able to go, he's our main man, like Bellingham and Keane always do, week in, week out. But these lads don't do it.
The great thing about that cross was he didn't actually... You thought for a second when he chopped back inside, he's left himself no room. Didn't actually beat the man, did he? Because he didn't need to beat the man, because the cross is whipped in so well.
No, what I find sometimes with the wide players that they've got, that they're actually running so fast with the ball that they haven't got time to be able to slow themselves down, to get their head up, to be able to see what's happening. Sometimes you watch the likes of Foden and Palmer, I'm not saying they should be here, but they do move forward with the ball, with their heads up, so they can play it at any point. When you watch Marcus play, maybe, or Anthony Gordon, or maybe Madueke, they're running so fast to get past players, it's impossible for them to be able to adjust their moment and just be able to guide a crossing.
Well, thanks for running back a long run. How do you sum it up? Group 1, job done today in terms of the win.
Yeah, first job achieved. You know, that we came here to do it in sections. We got through the pre-camp games really well, and now, you know, we achieved our first objective, which was to get through the group and top it as well.
What was said at half-time?
You're doing well, keep going, a little bit more, another gear. Nothing's crazy. We knew what level we were at, we know what level we want to achieve, and we did it in the second half.
The manager says that you'll see a better England in the knockout stage.
We'll see, hopefully. I think every day we've got to try and improve, every game we've got to improve, and yeah, it's up to us to do that. What
pleased you most today? The goal or the assist?
The assist. I think it was just a good culmination of play, and yeah, to give it to Harry again, who just continues to raise his level, is incredible.
Well, you know that assist also means history. Harry Kane, now England's record goal scorer at World Cups.
It's everything he deserves, you know what I mean? You see the effort that he puts in as a captain, you see how he leads us, his quality speaks for itself.
Thomas, England top of the group. How do you sum up today's performance?
Yeah, we did what was needed. It was what we expected, a tough match against a physical opponent. Difficult to score. We were the only team to create this amount of chances and score twice against them. We were very aggressive. We had to be very careful with the counterattacks because they're strong. We did well overall and deserved to win, but it was a hard piece of work.
You saw the role he played in both goals. How do you sum up Jude Bellingham's performance today?
Good performance again. We're happy that he's in this kind of shape, but everyone did what they needed to do. Jude was a big part of it.
Yeah, a moment of history as well today. Harry Kane is now England's record goal scorer at World Cups.
Yeah, good. And it's not the end.
It isn't the end. What is there to build on? Maybe the last 20 minutes?
No, there's more to build on. You have to get so many details right, and it's an aggressive approach that we take, and then to defend the one-on-ones. If you're like close to the pitch, you see it. And that's what it is. But the tournament starts again now in knockout. Now we collect our strengths and collect our energy, and we build on what we have: the team spirit, fighting spirit, the belief. And we will step up. The bigger the games get, the bigger we will get.
What does this mean today as well for those players making their first appearance at a World Cup? A first start like Morgan Rogers, for instance.
Yeah, good, and I'm happy that Ollie is on the pitch finally, and Jordan Henderson. They deserve so much more that they deserve. They are key players in their clubs. Get difficult decisions from me. That's what they signed up for. We're here for a bigger goal, and everyone buys into that.
The final point: the next game in just 4 days' time, DR Congo or Senegal looks likely. How's the fitness of players? Quansah went off. Saka, Rice.
Saka's not a problem. Declan had the chance to take him completely off the match, to not concede a second yellow, which helps us a lot. Jarell, I don't know, he had to go off injured, so we need to see. But 3 days and then next match in 4 days is not a problem. We love that and we're good at that.
Thanks for joining us.